meditating, marathon-minded, musically inclined human being.
Alright, here we are again. This is the Blazed Buddz podcast, episode 9. We got Mimosa.
What up?
Raul, man. And we're just going to kick it off. And ultimately, who are you for the people who don't know who you are, and what do you do?
I'm Mimosa Manor. I'm the guy who got his tooth pulled today and been taking nose dabs. But further than that, I run a podcast here, Mimosas With Manor, and I got a segment called Mobbing with Mimosas. And pretty much we interview the music scene and shine light on a lot of local communities around here. Pretty much places that really deserve it, that aren't getting the word that they deserve, that I feel. You know what I'm saying? So, really just showing that there is a scene here, and it's fucking awesome.
A fellow podcaster.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
What got you into podcasting?
My family did, actually. I didn't even know what a podcast was, and it was like, 2017? They were telling me about like TED Talks and stuff like that, and how it's these cool things you can check out. It's like talk radio, but you actually get to listen to like what you want to listen to. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to just change the station. And I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. And I kind of got into like, like some music podcasts, Adam 22, No Jumper and shit like that. And can we cuss?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Oh, okay, sweet. Well, so we got, I got like interest and stuff like that. I started watching Joe Rogan and everything, like the typical, the known ones and shit. And then I started like diving down and getting into more like comedic ones and just improv. And like one of my favorite ones is Cashing In with TJ Miller. It's just nonsense. It's nothing that you need to retain or anything like that. But you don't want to shut it off. You know what I'm saying? You're literally sitting there, and it's just improv. And it's, TJ Miller from Deadpool and stuff. He's the guy who tells Ryan Reynolds he looks like an avocado who fucked another avocado.
Yeah, I don't think I've heard of it, but
dude,
that's funny.
Dude, he's fucking hilarious, man. And it's just funny just hearing his fucking voice on things. But anyways, so yeah, then I kind of started getting an interest in that. My family, they're always like, oh, you're going to be like a comedian, or you're going to be in like movies or something like that. Your storytelling is just, ridiculous. And I was like, all right, word. I don't know what any of that means, but okay. Well, then I went to Job Corps, and after Job Corps, I realized that I do not want to work like a regular like job. I went to school for painting and drywall, and then business administration, so I could sit down and wear like a suit and tie and do Excel on a computer. But I was like, no, forget this. So then like I started coming up with the idea about a podcast, and then this is like 2018, and I kind of like start telling people like, hey, I'm gonna do something here in the future. I'm gonna go around and interview people and like tattoo artists and this and that. And then 2019 came around, and so I started making an initiative. I started going to like random tattoo shops and just introducing myself. Hey, my name is Matthew Manor. I plan on doing a podcast here in the future. I don't even know when. I was just wondering if you would like to sit down and actually be like one of the first guests of the episode and stuff, and here's my layout. And they were like, oh, yeah, no, this sounds like a great idea. Of course, we've never heard anything like it. Cool, right on. I go to this person, then I meet like an artist buddy, and I'm thinking I'm just going to go around to the scene and just interviewing like interesting people and stuff. Well, then
Did you have any kind of like motive that you were like wanted to interview them for? Like what kind, you have any kind of questions you like wanted?
No, really just to kind of just be like, yo, you do something cool here and you make money off of doing it. Right. Here's like your light being shined. You know what I'm saying? Like I see a lot of ads on Facebook and stuff like that, but not a whole lot of like social media, like videos or really getting to know people. And you know what I'm saying? Like,
so you're trying to kind of give like exposure to those people.
Exactly. Like I want like somewhat to be like a commercial. Like I always tell like my guests too, like of course I have like my questions, and I try to do like my research and getting to know you and stuff like that, but this is also an opportunity for you to like sell yourself, because I'm working hard on getting like an audience and stuff like that. So why don't you take advantage and like use it? You know what I'm saying? Like This is an opportunity not for you to sit back and just
opportunity for the both of you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like we grow together, and that's all like I'm looking forward to is just kind of just not necessarily even like my part of growing, but being able to be like, yo, I got somebody's story out there and people were there to listen.
Yeah, and that's how you create like a network. Like you're trying to provide value to them, and hopefully they provide value to you. So that way, like both of you get like sort of an exposure to grow. Kind of.
No,
thing.
seriously, man. And networking is the net worth. You know what I'm saying? And like that's all I've ever done. I didn't do sports. I don't play video games. All I know is hanging out with people having a good time and making sure other people are satisfied. You know what I'm saying? So, podcasting was just fucking one of the coolest things to get into.
I have a question that pretty much leads into this. So, I see you like all over the place with your podcast, like just always posting and finding different artists and stuff like that, like on your Instagram story and sharing that. And then, so the question was before you just said all this stuff, but then you just said I went out and pretty much knocked doors. Like I went to people I didn't know and was just like, hey man, like I want to introduce myself. Like you seem really outgoing and confident. Where do you think that comes from? Like where do you get that?
I want to say like probably my parents, honestly. Like my parents were always just go-getters and stuff like that, and my dad, he's an entrepreneur. He's one of those like knocks on every door, goes to businesses, has like a suitcase with some like, yo, here's a pen with some like some skull guy, you know what I'm saying? Like he's literally like that Wolf of Wall Street where it's literally like something he's done that. That's you know what I'm saying? And I grew up watching that, and you know, so there's some day it's just that quick hustle. Something needs to get done. You're able to do it just by, you know, being able to talk it over, if I can build a relationship.
Right.
Yeah, do you ever find yourself kind of like stuck in like the thinking process of like getting going and doing something?
Oh yeah. No, I get stuck all the time. No, I have like this was a total confidence like boost doing all this stuff because I literally started with like zero confidence and like I just knew like here's an idea and I just have to try it, and I was scared as shit. I'm like, dude, literally my first episode was, hey guys, Mimosa Manor tapping in with my cat Jade, and I had my cat go meow, and I was like, we're here to interview the Spokane area, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then it turned into, hey yo, this is Mimosas With Manor tapping, you know what I'm saying? And now it's like a whole thing, but like it grew into that. Yeah. So I mean, for anybody that's like, oh shit, I don't think I got it in me. I was that same exact freaking person, and there's still sometimes I'm like, what the hell am I doing? But I keep going because there's progress. It's like working out, man. Yeah. You may not notice it, but you're getting little abs here and there.
Yeah, and it sounds like you're trying to put like a spotlight like on the Spokane kind of like art industry kind of world, because it's like something that I think it's like really overlooked, obviously because it's Spokane, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, I grew up in high school. You guys went to high school here?
No, I'm not from here.
Yeah. Oh, word? Oh, but you went to high school here?
I did, yeah.
Well, like, I don't know if you've heard this term, but Spokane sucks, and I can't wait to get out of here, and yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, you guys aren't 21 yet, so you aren't able to experience the fun stuff. But I'm like, there's so much stuff that you have to do so much digging into. And I'm like, it would be kind of nice if there was those one-stop shops where you could click on and be like, oh, there's bomb food here in Spokane. Oh, there's a cool place that I can go that I don't have to be 21, but it's a hangout spot. It's a lounge. I can go get my... you know, my virgin Shirley Temple, my virgin mimosas and stuff like that, and like just kick it. I can bring my girl here.
What exactly is in a virgin mimosa? Is it just orange juice?
Yeah, I want to say it's orange juice and maybe some like apple cider, something bubbly. Yeah, you gotta get the bubbles.
Yeah, that's clouded.
But yeah, no, pretty much just like I just hated that because I'm like I love this city. Of course, like I want to go out and experience new stuff, and I plan on like, you know, moving in like the future and stuff like that, but. No, this place doesn't suck. It doesn't. I'm trying to like just switch the narrative. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I honestly kind of felt that way as a young person. Like growing up here, I was like, "Fuck this place," and then I did move away, and I moved back, and I just like had a lot more like appreciation for it. So I became a lot more grateful for just what Spokane is. And
no, seriously.
Just kind of like what you were saying, like. Just like looking at what we do have and like trying to find what we do have instead of being like, man, there ain't nothing here. Like get out and like.
No, exactly. We're not just an old train yard city. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm like, of course, there's like some rich history that isn't the most like eccentric and it's a little like boring and stuff. But I'm like, who cares about all that? I'm like, you know, we have like bomb lobster places. You can get lobster sandwiches and po' boys and freaking, and it's not by a franchise.
Where's that at?
Oh shoot! You put me on the freaking spot. I'm gonna have to come back around on that.
I've never had lobster, and I've been curious about it.
Weird, it's called dude. It's like the Lobster Shack.
Yes, no, I got it.
Dude, there's like there's two of them in Spokane. No, there's two of them in Spokane. But that's like another thing that I do, like in my free time, is like I love to just check out places, and as soon as I'm there, I'm always
there's a lot of small businesses that check out and support.
And yo, sometimes the owner's right there working, so I'll come in and ask, and I'll be like, "Hey, is the owner here?" "Oh yeah, it's Bob in the back." Da da da. And I'm like, "Yo," and I straight up tell him like, "Yo, I run a podcast here in town, and I really love what you guys got going on here, and you guys got the best food, and I tell them specifically what I love to eat here, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I love about the Mobbin now, is finding all these like newer places, not in my free time. Now it's like a part of like part of the freaking journey is like being like, yo,
what helped you overcome like the fear of like fuck, I gotta like talk to the owner, like I gotta ask these questions if I want to be able to get him on a podcast or anything?
I don't know, maybe what got me over it, just the progress, doing it the first few times, and then seeing that people like 99.9% are like, yes, I want to get to know you, I want to give you my card, I want, you know what I'm saying, I want you to know who I am, like this is like they, I see, I don't know, it's like something about like, it's important, it's necessary, and that's like what made me want to like take this serious, was in like the music and arts industry, was like, that's where I was seeing like people were like, oh yeah, you like right on, we needed this, and just the feedback, and just seeing like how people feel when they are like in the presence, or even like having the opportunity of doing something that they weren't used to, or you know what I'm saying? Like these business owners aren't used to just people coming in and being like, yo, I can shout you out on my podcast this Wednesday and stuff like that. What the hell's a podcast? Yeah. And then I'm explaining it to them. I mean Uber, every time I'm in an Uber or a Lyft, or hey, I'm a podcast, I just sell my stuff. And then for the most part, that's how I met one of the podcast guys from the Beers, Bongs, and Bullshit podcast. I ended up getting on their podcast because I met Candy Kane. He was my driver. And then I met the coach of the Lilac City Legends, our new semi-pro basketball league that we're going to have here in Spokane. And I just heard about them recently from somebody from here who did a podcast in Seattle on the NAS podcast. And I'm like, yo, it's all starting to make sense. And now I get to, like, interview this guy and, like, it's all coming together.
You gotta put yourself out there, though. That's
exactly.
Like that's that confidence thing, and I think that like relates to like just life in general. When like a person's like struggling on like overthinking a situation on like, should I do this, should I not? Then you overthink that shit, and then you just end up not doing it, and you just gotta go. You gotta do it,
bro.
And then you'll
right
learn.
Before
you'll
here,
learn from,
I was literally
from the time
like,
you do it.
am I gonna wear my mimosa hat? Am I gonna wear my mimosa jacket? I just woke up from a nap and stuff. I was like, I shouldn't have taken a nap. I gotta call. I'm like, dude, what the. I was like, it is what it is, man. I was like, you just gotta sometimes just send it and stuff like that, and just give it your best, especially if it's not what you expected. You know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of people do that, like jumping into stuff, making a song.
We play out a situation in our head before it even happens. And
exactly.
Then we just lose our confidence there.
We're our worst freaking critic, man. And dude, it sucks sometimes.
And I think we, as ourselves, like we hold ourselves back from like more than anybody else does. Like we're in our own head. We just fucking hold ourselves back.
Dude, I actually look at your like posts a lot, and I get inspired because it's literally just enough of just to being like, yo, check it out. Get up, wake up, freaking do it. You can do it. I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm literally watching this shit, and I'm like, hell yeah, man. I got the gym membership. I was like, I got the freaking gym membership. I was like,
appreciate that too, bro.
No, but you guys are like seriously like motivating and stuff. But that's like what the community needs. You know what I'm saying? They need exposure, but at the same time, this is nude for everybody. Yeah. You know what I mean? Even people who are out there like making it, who have their like insecurities about stuff and this and that. It just took like those couple steps and those few moves that fucking got them to where they are. You know what I'm saying? They have that confidence. They can go out. You don't think they get back and they're like, whoa, man, that was crazy.
Most of the time we try to ignore the signs of insecurities or just problems in general, in which fucking just leads to more problems and then overthinking. And we fuck ourselves bad. Dude,
seriously. No, seriously. But yeah, no. My advice, just push through, and then if it fucked up while you push through again. Learn. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta keep trying. Skateboard.
Fuck yeah. Fall off, get it back on, bitch.
Exactly.
No. Have you faced any like pushback or like negative judgment from other people in attempts to like do something that's like
I was gonna
say not the regular thing kind of
just I don't know, weird stuff that I've like had to deal with that I haven't had to deal with in like real life or whatever since I've like started the podcast. Is that what you're asking? Like
like just kind of like, I suppose just like a lot of people do the 9 to 5 thing, and like doing like podcasting entertainment sometimes seems like I don't know, like
unrealistic.
And you, like I said, you have to put yourself out there a lot, and so.
Well, it's finding your schedule and really like budgeting your time and like all that other stuff, and it like took a minute to figure that out. I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go to this party, film these guys, get some shout outs, just make sure that I'm always cameoed in every event, and then go straight to work on like 2 hours of sleep, taking shots, whatever.
Yeah, right.
And then I was like, holy shit, what am I doing to myself? This is freaking ridiculous. And then just really just finding that like time management and stuff like that, and being like, okay, if I do this, this, and this, then I can fucking get through this a lot smooth.
Right, yeah, like study your schedule. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was thinking more so like, I suppose, like judgment from people. Like,
oh, judgment from people?
Yeah, like.
Oh, I mean, I've done podcasts with people, and I've gotten like messages like, oh, how could you like entertain the fact that he's even somebody, or yo, da da da, and I'm like, sometimes at first it was like, I don't even know who this person is who's messaging me. So yeah, this was like a new conflict, a new problem, a new negativity that I was like, oh, okay, this is something I feel like I'm gonna have to deal with like in the future. So then it was just showing people and really watching my wording like in my podcast and stuff like that, making sure like when conversation of like conflict between another individual or whatever, that I don't put my opinion in, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm never ever taking sides. I'm here for people to give their story, and a lot of that got confused, I feel like. And I feel like when you're just kind of doing this stuff, you're not looked at as like, oh, you're the podcast. It's, oh, I met this dude before, and now they're letting somebody say something about, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is a whole new like area of, I had to resolve problems, and I was having to deal with FaceTimes and really, and then what happened one time was an order of podcasts that I posted, and because of and oh man, so yeah, there are these new little things, and like, but I just got to it's a learning process for me and the person or persons who have like the issue, you know what I'm saying? Because it's new for everybody. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like it could seem like I'm the bad guy and this and that. Yeah. I could speak my piece and they take it or leave it type deal.
Yeah, you seem like you don't let it affect you very much.
Yeah, I really try not to, but it is hard to be someone when you feel like you haven't done anything and then you're hated, right, and then you got to explain yourself. But even the explanation, when you're talking to somebody and it's the ear through one ear and out the other, it's like, damn, I did my best to explain this to you. At the end of the day, I have no hard feelings, but there is bad blood somehow. So I don't know. So that's one of those things where it's like you kind of got to just like move on with as well, you know what I'm saying? Because it just happens during this. Yeah. And I've actually seen it happen like more like, you know, those terms when you hear like snake or friends and this and that. In this industry, I feel like that's when those terms start just getting thrown out without any like real backup behind it. It's just a term that you can easily use
just
if somebody
sharing your perspective.
Exactly.
Having an opinion.
Yeah. No,
you say, like, I don't even want to share my opinion because I find that interesting.
No, I mean, and I do give my opinion. I try to do like a lot of that stuff like off the record, but for the most part, I just try to let people speak their mind, and if there is an issue, I deal with it head on. And
because like you said, you're basically trying to get them exposure, not really share your opinion. But
no, exactly. Like, oh, I can't believe so and so did this, and so and so said this, so I'm going to bring this touchy subject up, or you know what I'm saying? I'm not here to poke buttons. I mean, of course, a saucy story is a saucy story, and like I definitely want to ask people about like, hey, is it okay if we bring this kind of like stuff up or this or that? But if there's a topic that I have no idea about and I accidentally start to press a couple buttons, I mean, it's the responsibility of the guest to be like, hey, you know, like, let's change the subject. And I've had plenty of people do that, and we move on and this and that. But yeah, no, it's definitely the audience, and then I've had some issues.
That's funny.
But yeah, no, just moving forward. That's all I can
Ignoring
say.
it.
Yeah. No, well, handling it to the best of your capability and
facing it.
Yeah. Exactly. At the best of your capability. Sometimes some things are just unfixable, and I mean, uncontrollable. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So
gotta just face things and deal with what you can control, which is usually your attitude. And
like you
said, you just kind of just keep going and keep pushing.
Exactly. No, I'm always excited to interview the next guest. I'm always I can never hold on to, all right, this is the situation. Like, that's good. I can't continue on with.
Yeah. You gotta let it go.
Yeah. Exactly.
Next.
Exactly.
That's funny. if you had any kind of advice for anybody who's like wants to like pursue like a side thing like what you're doing, you know, gain that confidence, like what would you like tell a person who's like maybe like trying to gain that confidence but doesn't know where to start or what to do?
Really try to know yourself. Not everybody's a rapper. You know what I'm saying? Like making music, doing all that stuff sounds fun, but there's like really like that's why I like chose the podcast, because it was like, of course, like making music sounds fun, and you find these producers and videographers and you get these opportunities like, oh, I can do that, but then it's like really just finding your like place, like, oh, okay, maybe if I pick up a camera and do this, maybe I'm a better camera guy than I am at this. It's really just finding your niche, kind of practicing everything, and really just try to get to know yourself. I know that's a lot harder than
experimenting.
Learn and fail, basically.
No, exactly, and just kind of like hold on to your strongholds, but don't like take that as like, oh, I'm good at this, but I don't do what you love. You know what I'm saying? You got to do what you fucking like to do, but experiment. Yeah,
don't take your losses personally.
No, exactly. I mean, shit, dude, I wanted to do some video. I am a terrible videographer. I'm a terrible I think I can do angles and this and that and run around with my iPhone as much as I can, and
don't be afraid to admit it.
No, exactly. No, exactly, man. And I
Yeah.
mean, maybe I just need a little bit more learn. That's all that it takes. But I mean, that wasn't my stronghold. Like, so you know, later on down the road, hell yeah.
Or
did I enjoy it? Hell yeah, hell yeah, I enjoyed it.
But
But
you
then,
knew it wasn't for you.
quality and
Be honest with yourself,
content-wise,
you know?
yeah.
You gotta be
My
honest with
video
yourself.
editing skills and even just placing anything together, it was just it was very splotchy. So I'm like, not my role. Maybe one day, you know, have the right mentors. And that's another thing, is having mentors and stuff like that. People who not necessarily just like straight giving you game, but like even those old heads with like a little bit of advice, take it or leave it. You know what I'm saying? All the good stuff. I don't know. I just try to
study people who are like all you do is see on Instagram because they're too big for, you know, obviously to access. Study them, you know.
Yo, I love podcasts. So I literally watch interviews about podcasters and like what got them into it, and then interviews about the camera guys that started it, and even go back to like history.
Yep.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like even go back to what is that? One of my favorite Netflix documentaries is that LA Originals. You ever seen that?
No.
Dude,
I scroll by it, but I haven't seen it.
Watch it, man. It literally, you watch that and you literally are like, I'm doing all of this tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? It's so motivating, and it's so like, we're doing this right now, and there's so many old concepts that people like forget about that they could still be using, like hustling tactics and freaking, you know, people just want to make music and just hopefully somebody finds it and stuff like that. And I'm like, yo, look at these old heads that freaking hustled, these graffiti artists that turned tattoo artists that did freaking collabs with Nike. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, dude, this is wild. People who started off taking pictures at concerts to freaking touring with Eminem, 50 Cent, while the tattoo artist is tattooing him, and this camera guy's getting all of this. You know what I'm saying? This whole era of Cypress Hill and fucking this real raw gangster era of like the 90s and stuff like that, like right after NWA and shit. And I was just like, dude, that's so inspiring. That shit's so freaking
And for the ones that don't understand, dream big.
No, literally, man.
Because fuck that, yeah, that's what you got to do. And it's like we talk about it, and it's like dream big, dream fucking big like that. And if you fall short, you're probably gonna fall somewhere where it's not gonna be bad.
No, that's what I'm saying, man. And dude, there's been opportunities that I've had that I didn't take the chance to get the pictures or the videos, so I can't speak too much on it. But I'm literally just like, yo, there's been stuff that I just thought was unreal. You know what I'm saying? And it fucking happened.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The trips, the people you meet, the conversation. It's like, it's unreal. As long as you stay true to yourself and you're not a piece of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because what goes around comes around.
Well,
no,
true.
exactly.
Kindness goes a long way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And obviously your mind, you got to be in your mind too. You got to be thinking, I can do that shit.
Yeah.
Because if you have any kind of doubt, then that doubt will fucking, unfortunately, probably beat you.
It
stumps
erodes you.
Yeah.
Erodes you from the inside.
Mm-hmm.
Believe in yourself.
So you guys get baked before the podcast and stuff like that? I mean,
sometimes,
every now and then,
take a couple of puffs.
I'm high right now.
right on. No, I feel you.
I don't ever really want to get like too stoned or nothing like that, but
That was like always like one of my like flaws, like starting the podcast, was I would have guests come on with like backwoods, and I was just a rook getting into backwoods, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, oh my god, And then I gotta fucking sit there and ask you guys questions and remember.
Yeah, it gets hard to think because the camera's on you, so it's just like a little bit more pressure.
Oh,
and then you can't even like think freely.
No, literally.
Just I feel
stumped.
that shit.
Just stumped.
Yeah.
I mean, but I love getting fucked up on podcasts. I've had podcasts where I've gotten wasted drunk on mimosas. I've had podcasts where I've gotten wasted drunk on other liquors. Freaking, I've eaten mushrooms.
Drink champs.
I know. I asked Zach. I was like, should I pull up with the mimosas mimosa today? He was like, he'll definitely drink with you.
Hell
like,
yeah! I mean, I never say no. I'm always down. I'm
not
down.
a huge champagne person, so I was like, man.
Fuck with the fucking scheming guys. I freaking. Yeah, I ate some mushrooms and I did
that sounds like about right.
yeah, I ate some mushrooms and I did an episode and they were very, very funny, very
that's clowning,
very
bro.
funny episodes.
Shouts out scheming.
Yeah, no, shouts out everybody doing their thing. I freaking love all the podcasts like popping up and stuff like that. One question I got asked was like, oh, you think like, you're since you're not like the only one or what? I was like, no, this is the whole point. There's the scene.
It's everywhere.
Everybody has their people. You know what I'm saying?
Question?
Like if there's any competition or fucking if there's any worry about like any growth of any podcast, and I was like, there's been podcasts before us. There's been podcasts before.
You're gonna continue to be podcasts.
No, exactly. And I'm like, you think
more than enough for everybody.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I'm like, you think the people that listen to my podcast are necessarily listening to that? I mean, like, there's the mutuals, but then I'm like, everybody has different
they're all different subjects and topics.
You know what I'm saying?
It's not all
like,
the same shit. You know?
Dude, yeah, no, like the first time I met you was at the the scheming market and stuff like that, and I was like, this has been my neighbor this whole entire fucking time. And I was like, I had no idea. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's just doing the digging, hopping on these but that's what's cool. Spokane's growing. We're in a spot now where there is a scene. There's cool places to hang out. There's freaking medias that you can check out. You can get your updates without having to hop on KXLY or blase. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Expletive Fox News. Sipping juice for that. Or creme to news, my bad.
Yeah, creme too, yeah.
Expletive creme too. We sipping juice for what? That's funny.
Fuck, dude.
Well, shoot, I don't have any more questions. I think that was pretty good.
Yeah, dude, and appreciate you for coming, honestly.
Hell yeah.
Share perspective. And then, like, for the ones that, like, can relate to anything he says, like, don't take anything too literal. Like, try to fucking read between the lines, and because like everything that he like obviously talks about, there's been struggles and adversity and challenges and what he's faced, and it's just like a different perspective.
Yeah.
So it's like just try to relate as much as you can and fucking support us.
And if there's anything that you heard that you relate to, or just you like listening to us, please give us a subscribe, like, comment. It really helps us out a lot, and we'd really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yo. Shout out to the Blazed Buddz guys. We got the badass sweater from these dudes.
Fuck yeah, bro. We appreciate you for coming. Appreciate your time.
Hell yeah,
bro.
hell yeah.
And fucking blaze your own goddamn trail, bro. Do what makes you happy. Stay high, stay motivated, stay happy. Let's get it.
Woo!
Good job, man.
Go.
Money making, meditating, marathon minded, musically inclined human being. I'm a great soul with a great flow, a creature you have